It's the AQA GCSE Maths Foundation Calculator Paper 3 from June 2023. Let's get straight into it. Question 1. Solve 5x equals 15. X is being multiplied by 5, so I need to divide by 5 on both sides. X is equal to 15 divided by 5 is 3. Part B, y plus 7 is equal to 50. We're adding 7, so we need to do the opposite of that, taking away 7 from both sides. Y would be equal to 43. Part C, C is being divided by 4, so we need to multiply by 4 on both sides. C would be equal to 8 times 4, 32. Question 2. We've got a list of numbers, write down the mode. The mode is just the most popular, most common number. So we'll look through this list, which appears the most. I can see I got 2 4s. Is there anything else that repeats more than 2 times? No, so the answer is 4. Part B, work out the median. The median is the middle number when we've sorted them either smallest to largest or largest to smallest. So let's sort them first. So 2, 4, 4, 8, 10, 11, 12, and 15. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got all of my numbers. I'm going to squeeze in from both sides. I'll cross one out from the left, one from the right, one from the left, one from the right, one from the left, one from the right, and I'm left with these 2 numbers in the middle. So I'm looking for the middle of those 2 numbers, which is just 9. If you have 2 numbers that are quite far away and it's a little bit difficult to find what the middle is, you add them both together and then you divide it by 2. So you're just finding the mean of those 2 numbers. So that'd be 18 divided by 2, or 9. Part C, work out the range. The range is just the largest number, take away the smallest number. Largest number here is 15, smallest number is 2. 15 take away 2 is 13. Question 3, a fair spinner with 5 sections is spun. Complete these statements. The spinner is most likely to land on section. Which letter is taking up the most area here? So it's going to be D. The spinner is equally likely to land on sections which and which. So which areas are the same as each other? I can see A and E are both the same. So A and E. Part B, 2 different spinners are spun. One spinner has sections labelled with colours. The other spinner has sections labelled with numbers. Here are all of the possible outcomes. We've got red, blue and green for my colours. So R, B and G. And for my numbers, I've got 1, 2, 3 and 4. When we put these onto the spinners, they don't have to be equal because these are just the outcomes. It doesn't show the probabilities of them, so we can split them however we want. For the colours, we've got R, B and G. For the numbers, we have 1, 2, 3 and 4, so I'm just going to split this into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Question 4. A reel holds 9.5 meters of ribbon. 2 pieces of ribbon are cut from the reel. Each piece is 20 centimeters long. What length is left on the reel? State the units. So we start off with a 9.5 meter length of ribbon. 2 pieces are being cut off and they're each 20 centimeters long. How much is 20 centimeters in meters? We're just dividing that by 100, so it'd be 0.2. So we're multiplying this by 2 because there's 2 lengths and we're taking that away from the total length of the ribbon. 9.5 take away 2 times by 0.2. I know this is 0.4, so that'd be 9.1. You can just put it into your calculator as well. 5a, the term-to-term rule for a sequence is subtract 1 and then multiply by 5. The first term is 4, work out the third term. Let's first work out the second term. 4 take away 1 is 3, 3 times 5 is 15. The third term is going to be 15, take away 1, 14, and 14 times by 5, which is 70. Part B, the term-to-term rule for a different sequence is add 20 and then divide by 2. The second term is 50, we need to work out the first term. So we're trying to work out the value of x, and we know we've added 20 to it, and then we've divided it by 2, which gives us 50. So we're just solving this equation. Right now, the left-hand side is being divided by 2, so we're going to multiply by 2 on both sides. That would be x plus 20, that removes that divide by 2. 50 times by 2 is 100. I'm going to take away 20 from both sides. So x would be equal to 100 take away 20, 80. Question 6. Scarlett leaves home at 10 to cycle to the supermarket. Here is part of a distance time graph of her trip to the supermarket. So we've got the distance along the y-axis and we've got the time along the x-axis. She arrives at the supermarket at 10:20, which is over here. How far is the supermarket from her home? So we can read the y-axis to find the distance, and the distance would just be between 6 and 8. It's halfway between them, so it's going to be 7 kilometers. Part B, she leaves the supermarket at 10:35. How long does she stay at the supermarket? So she leaves over here at this point. That's 10:35. She arrives at the supermarket at 10:20, so it's going to be 15 minutes between those 2 times. Part C, Scarlett cycles home at constant speed using the same route. It takes her 3 minutes longer than her journey to the supermarket. Complete the distance time graph. First, we need to think how long does it take her to get to the supermarket, and then add 3 minutes onto that. So she leaves at 10, she arrives at 10:20. So that's going to be 20 minutes. We need to add 3 minutes onto that. So altogether, it's going to take her 23 minutes to get back. She's leaving at 10:35. If we add 23 minutes to that, we're going to arrive back home at 10:58. So we need it to finish over here. I'm just going to connect those two lines with a straight line. So use a ruler and a pencil for that question. 7. This week, Liam works 25 hours at £10.20 per hour and extra hours at the weekend at £11.80 per hour. Here are the extra hours he works at the weekend. On Saturday, he's working 7 a.m. to 10 a.m, so that's 3 hours. And on Sunday, he's working 1 p.m. to 3 p.m, that's 2 hours. So in total, on the weekend, he's working for 5 hours. In total, how much is he paid during the week? He works 25 hours at £10.20 during the weekdays. So we'll work out how much he's earning during the weekdays first. That'll be 25, the amount of hours, multiplied by the hourly rate. And then we're adding the amount that he's been paid on the weekend per hour, £11.80, multiplied by the amount of hours, which is 5. So we type all of this into your calculator. And so that's 25 multiplied by £10.20. And then we're adding on £11.80 multiplied by 5, which gives us an answer of £314. Question 8. 3 oranges have masses of 60 grams, 70 grams and 85 grams. Show that their total mass is between 1/5 and 1/4 of a kilogram. First, find out the total mass of all of the oranges. So that's 60 plus 70 plus 85. 215 grams. That's my total. I think for this question, it might be easier to find what 1/5 of a kilogram is and 1/4 of a kilogram is, and then show that this is between both of them. 1 kilogram is the same as 1,000 grams. So we're going to divide it by 5 and we're going to divide it by 4. 1,000 divided by 5 gives me 200. And that's in grams. And 1/4 of a kilogram is the same as 250 grams. And we can see 215 is between 200 and 250. Well, we could write it like this. 200 is smaller than 215, and that's smaller than 250. So it's in the middle of those two. Question 9. For each statement, tick the correct box. One of the 3 angles of a triangle is 90 degrees. So that could be true sometimes, because you might have a right angle triangle, so sometimes true. One of the 3 angles of a triangle is obtuse. What does obtuse mean? That's just my angles between 90 and 180. So if you had one at 90 degrees, the other ones could be 45 and 45, so that could be true sometimes. Last one of the 3 angles of a triangle is reflex. Reflex just means greater than 180. If you have a triangle that adds up to 180, one of them can't be larger than 180, so that would never be true. Question 10. Simplify fully p squared times by p. We've got p to the power of 2 times by p to the power of, there's an invisible 1 there. And whenever you're multiplying with the same base, you keep the bases as they are, and then you just add the powers together. 2 add 1 gives me 3. P to the power of 3. Part B, simplify fully 3a plus 5c minus a plus 6c. We're collecting like terms. I can see I've got a's here. 3 lots of a, take away 1 lots of a, gives me 2 lots of a. And then I've got this 5c plus 6c. So 5 add 6 is 11, so 11 lots of c. Question 11. 2 angles around a point are shown. So we know both of these angles will add up to 360. Angles around a point add up to 360. The angles are in the ratio 2 to 7, show that the larger angle is 280. So we can forget about this, and we just want to make sure our answer is 280. Right now it's 2 to 7, so altogether there are 9 parts, and that's equal to 360. What would 1 part be worth? We've divided by 9 there, so we're going to divide by 9 there. 36 divided by 9 is 4, so it's going to be 40. We're timesing both of these by 40. 2 times by 40 is 80. 7 times by 40 is 287. And we've proven that the larger angle is 280 degrees. Question 12. C is greater than 4, D is less than 4, and C minus D equals 6. Work out a pair of values for C and D. Let's write some values that C could be. If it's greater than 4, C could be 5, 6, 7, or 8, and so on. D is smaller than 4, so D could be 3, 2, 1, and 0, and so on. Which 2 of these numbers would work to make C minus D equals 6? I can see 6, take away 0 would be nice, 6 and 0. You could have a few other options as well. Part B. W is greater than 1 and less than 2. X is greater than 0 and less than 1. And we know W add X equals 2.6. Work out a possible pair of values for W and X. I'm just going to choose a nice number between those two, 1.9. And what would I need to add to that to get to 2.6? 2.6 take away 1.9 would give me 0.7, and that's more than 0 and less than 1. 1.9 and 0.7. Question 13. Here are three straight lines. We've got A, B, C, D, and this line that goes through them. Are the lines A, B, and C, D parallel? We can see lines are parallel if they're following all of our parallel angle rules. So this angle here, because it's opposite, would be 95. This angle should be 180, take away 95 because it's on a straight line, so that's 85. And that would be opposite to that, so that's 85 as well. If they were parallel, these four angles would be matched up with these four angles, but that's not the case here. We can see this is 105 and this is 95. The answer is no, and this would prove that they're not parallel, but we can just write the angles should match up, and the 105 degrees should be 95, or they should be the same. Both angles given should be the same if they were parallel. Question 14. Match the algebra to the correct description. First one is 5a equals 20. So if you have something equal to something else, it's going to be an equation. Second one, 4b is more than 20. So this is going to be an inequality because we've got the greater than symbol, or the less than symbol would be fine as well. 2c plus c, and then we have these three lines, which tells us it's an identity. This will always be true. Then 5d plus 7e, this is already done. It's an expression because it's not equal to anything. Question 15. Popcorn is sold in small bags. 8 small bags have a total mass of 496. So 8 small is equal to 496. 5 small bags and 2 large bags have a total mass of 638. Work out the mass of a large bag. Let's first work out the mass of a small bag. So 8s equals 496. Divide by 8 on both sides. 496 divided by 8 gives me 62. So each small bag has 62 grams in it. I'm going to multiply these small bags. 5 multiplied by 62 plus 2 lots of L is equal to 638. 5 times 62 is 310 plus 2L is equal to 638. Let's take away this 310 from both sides. We're left with 2L is equal to 328. And we're going to divide by 2 on both sides. So L will give me 328 divided by 2, and that's 164. So 164 grams per large bag. Question 16. The rectangle and the triangle have the same area. Work out the length of the rectangle. Let's first work out the area of this triangle. Formula for area of a triangle is base multiplied by height divided by 2. We're going to do 12 times 16 divided by 2. 12 times 16 divided by 2. I can do 16 divided by 2, which is 8, and 12 times 8 is 96 centimeters squared. The area of this triangle is 96 centimeters squared. We need to find the area of this rectangle. Formula for area of a rectangle is just base times by height. 7.5 times by something is equal to 96. So we're just dividing by 7.5 on both sides. 96 divided by 7.5, which gives me 12.8. Question 17. Match the name to the correct sequence. Quadratic sequence has already been done, so that's the second difference will always be the same. Linear sequence just means each term will go up by the same amount every single time. So this one is not going up by the same amount. This one is, that's 4, that's 4, that's 4, that's 4. So that would be linear. Fibonacci just means the previous two numbers are adding to make the next number. So 4 add 5 gives me 9, 5 and 9 gives me 14, 14 and 9 gives me 23. So that's Fibonacci. Question 18. The number of hedgehogs in England is expected to reduce by 4% each year. Assume there are now 1 million hedgehogs in England. Work out the expected number of hedgehogs in England after 5 years. Show you working. Formula we're using here, because it's a repeated change, is the compound interest formula. And that is the original number multiplied by the decimal multiplier. And that's raised to the power of the amount of repetitions. How many times is it repeating? The original here is 1 million. We're going to need to work out what the decimal multiplier is. Because it's a reduction of 4%, what is 4% as a decimal? 4% is 0.04. We just divided that by 100. So that is a decimal multiplier of 0.96. So we're timesing that by 0.96. And the amount of repetitions, because it's after 5 years, is to the power of 5. So we type that into your calculator and you get 1, 2, 3123 times 0.96 to the power of 5, which gives us 815,372. 815,372.69. And I will just round that to 815,373. Because you can't have part of a hedgehog, so the answer is 815,373. Here is a cuboid A. Cuboid B is made from 2 of cuboid A, so they've put them both together. The volume of A to the volume of B is 1 to 2. That makes sense because the volume of that to the volume of that, I just need to double that. Matthew says the surface area of A to the surface area of B must also be 1 to 2 because B is made out of 2 of A. We can see that this face on the bottom is being covered by the other one. So that means going to be an area that's covered. So the answer would be no. There is a face that is covered. Question 28. Complete the table of values for y equals x squared plus 2x. It's already given some of the values. Let's substitute negative 2 into here. Whenever we see x, we're going to swap it with a negative 2. Negative 2 squared plus 2 multiplied by negative 2. You can type this into your calculator, or you could probably do this in your head as well. Negative 2 squared, negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. And then we've got 2 lots of negative 2, which is negative 4. 4 and negative 4 would give me 0. And then we're substituting 1. So 1 squared plus 2 multiplied by 1. 1 squared is 1 plus 2 is 3. Draw the graph of y equals x squared plus 2x. We've already created the table of values for that. This is my x coordinate and this is my y coordinate. So negative 3 and 3, negative 3 and 3, negative 2 and 0, negative 2 and 0, negative 1 and negative 1, 0 and 0 and 1 and 3. You can see it's a U shape, it's a parabola, and you're just drawing them up with a smooth line going through all of the points. I would recommend turn your page upside down and you can follow the curvature of your wrist. Question 21. Jing has 2,450. She saves some and gives the rest to her 4 brothers. The money saved to the money given to her brothers is in the ratio 2 to 5. Money saved to the brothers is in the ratio 2 to 5. Let's first work out how much is saved and how much is given to her brothers. Altogether here we have 7 parts. Those 7 parts are going to be equal to 2,450. Let's work out what one part is. 2,450 divided by 7 is 350. We're multiplying both of these by 350. 2 times 350 is 700, and 5 times 350 is 1,750. And if you add both of these numbers up together, you get 2,450. She gives each of her 4 brothers the same amount. So this is being split up into 4 parts. There's 4 brothers. 1,750 divided by 4, which gives me £437.50. Does each brother receive more than £430? So we've already answered the question. The answer will be yes, because £437.50 is greater than 430. Question 22. The pie chart shows information about people at a fair during 3 days. It says there were 132 more people on Friday than on Thursday. On Friday, the degrees for that part of the pie chart is 80. On Thursday, it's 25. So the difference between those two is 55 degrees. Those 55 degrees are going to be equal to 132 people. Let's work out what angle we're trying to find. We want this angle, so that's a full circle is 360. Take away the 80 and the 25, so taking away 105, which gives me 255. We're trying to find what 255 degrees are equal to. What number goes nicely into 55 and 255? So I would choose 5 because both of these end in 5. I'm going to divide by 11 here. 132 divided by 11 is 12. 12 people are equal to 5 degrees. And then I need to think, what have I multiplied by here on the left-hand side to get from 5 to 255? 255 divided by 5, which gives me 51. I need to times both sides by 51. 12 times by 51 gives me 663. That's my final answer. Question 23. Use trig to work out the value of x. Let's first label the sides. The side opposite the right angle is the hypotenuse. The side opposite the angle that's given is opposite. And the side that's left over is adjacent. I'm going to be using SOHCAHTOA. Just write them out. And the sides that we care about are the sides that we're given, which is the adjacent, and the side that we're trying to find. So which of these have O and A in it? It's not that one, it's not that one, it's going to be this one. So it's tan of the angle, tan of theta, tan 58 is equal to opposite divided by adjacent. Opposite here is x, what we're trying to find out, divided by 46. We need to rearrange this to get x on its own, so times by 46 on both sides. 46 tan 58 is equal to x. We just type that in. Tan 58. That gives me 73.62. That's to 2 decimal places. Question 24. Millie is estimating the value of this. She rounds each decimal number to one significant figure. Let's round these to one significant figure. Significant just means the first non-zero digit. So both of these don't have any zeros at the start of it, so it doesn't really matter. This would round to 8 and this would round to 10. Work out Millie's estimate. Show you're working. We've got 1 divided by the cube root of 8 in bracket squared multiplied by 10. The cube root of 8 is 2 and 2 squared is 4. So that's 4 times by 10, which comes 1 over 40. Part B, Millie says my estimate must be more than the exact value. Without working it out, give a reason how she can know this. If we take a look at both of these numbers, we've rounded both of them down. That's gone down from 8.34 to 8. That's gone down from 10.21 to 10. So if we're dividing by a smaller number, we're going to end up with a larger answer. So we can say the divisor has decreased, therefore the answer will increase. Question 25. Factorize x squared plus 8x plus 15. It's a quadratic because the highest power is a 2 here. That means we're going to need double brackets. We're looking for two numbers that multiply to give me this constant, the number on its own, two numbers that multiply to make 15, and two numbers that add to make 8. Let's write out our factor pairs of 15, 1 and 15, 3 and 5, and that would be it. So which of these pairs would add up to make 8? It's going to be 3 and 5. So in one bracket I'll have x plus 3, in the other bracket I'll have x plus 5. Part B, write down the two solutions of y plus 2, y minus 4 is equal to 0. Right now this is saying I've got two numbers that are being multiplied to give me 0, and that means one of them will have to be 0. So I'm going to make this one equal to 0, and I'm going to make this one equal to 0, and I'm going to solve it. Y plus 2 is equal to 0, and y minus 4 is equal to 0. When you get good at this, you won't need to do this step, but for now I'm just going to show you how to do it. So y is equal to negative 2 or 4. That's the end of the topics for today. I'd recommend you go through the paper and write down all of the topics that you struggle with, and then you can revise them before you attempt your next past paper. You can find more past papers and more walkthroughs on my channel, so feel free to check it out. I'll see you there.